last time you did this shit, it was still CanCast.
Yeah.
Now it's supper for dinner. See, he knows. He knows what's going on. It's mostly just fucking a fun hour of videos and whatever the hell else we. Well, yeah. I try and aim for at least
Ours was like 3 last time.
We've had some good runs with. Nardi came over and he brought a bunch of guns. I was the weed guy and he was the food guy, so we did like weed, food, and guns podcast.
Well, that's a nice mix of topics.
Nardi had a bunch of World War.
He had a World War II K98 Mauser, which is like their infantry.
Pull that bitch closer to your mouth.
That they've had for like ever. Actually, most guns that have a bolt action, they're based on that action.
On the Mauser. And that was the one with like the eagles and shit on it, right?
Yeah, with the swastikas and shit
fucking
like that.
crazy shit, man.
That's
so you guys can hear me better
Nazi
now?
shit.
A little bit. Okay. Closer you can pull it, like a fist away from you. Fucking.
There we go.
Oh, that's so much better.
Yeah.
We can hear sweet P. Diddle's voice now.
I'm not used to thinking my face like that all the time.
I had a joke and it's totally fucking gone. It's gone. All right, let's start this off with the first video. You were talking about how you gotta quit the smokes, right?
Oh, gotta quit the smokes.
Gotta quit the smokes.
So many smokes.
This is not my mouse. Let's get rid of that. I found these videos. This Australian guy trying to make his buddy quit smoking. We'll start with this one.
Yeah, so here I have a box of cigarettes, and here I have some super glue. Just gonna pour the super glue in between all of the little gaps. Give it a good squeeze. Oh, jeez, it's so sticky already. And now wait.
Get me one.
Thanks, dude. So what's the plan tomorrow?
I don't know. What's wrong?
Dude, it's a whole pack.
You can still smoke him, can't you?
Fuck, mate.
Oh, savage. Oh,
I don't know if I'm doing that.
the super glue and shit in between it, man. I have multiple videos of these guys pranking him, trying to get him to quit smoking. So we'll probably cross through a couple of those over the podcast. How long have you gone? If you don't mind talking about fucking cigarette withdrawal for too long. How long have you gone without smoke?
Oh, I'm not quitting.
Oh, you're not?
No, I just need to.
You just need to?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
I have, I'm not
no
quitting.
intention. I mean, it kind of goes with the chef life, right?
Nah.
Well, not for me. I don't smoke, but unless I'm having a beer and I'm like pretty, drinking with a few of my buddies, then I'll have a few darts or, bum them off you all night.
Oh, I just love the cigarettes.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's cool. I get it. There's a couple of guys I work with. They definitely get an extra couple of smoke breaks compared to the rest of us. But I make up for that shit on the weekends when I'm by myself. So, I don't know. I thought we would get into that a little bit more, but you seem content.
Oh, I'm very happy with my current stage of smoking. I just know that I need to quit before I get to a certain point in life, because I know that if I continue to smoke till I'm like a 40-year-old guy, a 40-year-old man, I know I'm probably never gonna smoke.
Pussy or cigarettes?
A pussy.
Okay, so eventually there could be some time that a lovely lady comes along and convinces you.
Oh, potentially, for sure, yeah.
Just dangles the pussy properly, and
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's probably what's gonna end up doing it, hopefully. But we'll see.
And you get a lot of those girls nowadays that are like really into health and everything, and that's a deal breaker.
Is that the thing?
That's a deal breaker.
The girls are into health these
But
days?
there's most of them.
Oh, okay.
You've got like
Being vegan and keto.
That's
and
true.
shit, you know what I mean?
Keto's legit. Short time. I think the UK is like banning cigarettes in the next couple of years.
They're banning cigarettes.
Well, because their healthcare is free like ours is. So they're saying like, why are we
spending all this money when we don't need to
keep like the cancer cigarette people healthy,
cigarette people.
Well, I mean,
I'd like to think what you're trying to say is we've come to a point where certain groups that have been disenfranchised for so long are finally coming into their own and being accepted into society, and a lot of those motherfuckers are taking advantage of that fact.
Yeah.
And a lot of them aren't.
That is what I was trying to
And a lot of them are being grateful. And I'm not saying, like, yes, you know what? history has been on the downside of them. They've had it shitty.
So
But
have a lot of people.
a lot of people are gonna, whenever people get into good situations compared to bad situations, they're gonna take advantage of it. No matter what is happening.
It's also an issue of like tribe mentality, and when a bunch of people get together via like on the internet, or they start doing their own little meetups and groups and shit, where they feel like they, whether or not they actually do have a voice, that they should make it heard and loud and proud, right? Whether they might not be in the informed.
Let's not forget that it is completely their right, though.
It is.
Let's not forget that.
It's everybody's right to do
yes,
that.
yes.
Everybody's.
And not
Absolutely
privileges
everybody.
like we have in Canada, 'cause we don't
And
have-
we can
don't have
exercise those
Canada.
same rights anytime we
Yeah.
want, gentlemen.
Yeah. Well, they're privileges.
You just gotta just be careful of what you do because of.
Because what?
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
You guys don't get it?
No.
No. Okay. Somebody's gonna get it. Somebody's
We're
gonna get it.
ignorant, I
It's
guess.
fine.
Skin color? Oh, white privilege? Nice.
What?
Especially male white privilege.
White privilege,
Right?
yeah, I
Male
guess
white.
so.
I know that I'm
Just gotta
a
watch out.
I know that I'm a white
Yeah,
male.
I
I'm,
know.
I'm a
How dare
middle
we be
class
white
white
male?
male.
Just gotta watch out for what you say, because a lot of people mad at us right now.
Well, they're gonna be mad at us for the rest of time,
That's
man.
right. As they should be.
That's not gonna change.
As they should be.
Well, that's the thing, the culture is...
Steve
I
Jobs,
think they're
baby.
trying to
Steve
make
Jobs,
the victim
2020.
culture.
That's the price you get for running the game this long.
It's true. It's true.
Who's gonna hate? They hate us because they ain't us.
I mean, you're right. It's just all of a sudden, like, there needs to be more balance. Right? Right? There needs to be more balance. It's not just about, like, fucking cisgendered white males being on top, but it's like everybody else who wasn't on top has such a loud voice all of a sudden that it's kind of deafening, I guess.
I wonder how like hardcore feminists feel about the trans movement, because you know what? I honestly think that
Taking advantage of the fucking feminist
a
movement?
little bit.
A little bit, yeah, for sure.
I would like to speak with a feminist on the opposite
I'd love
side.
to.
Yeah.
Love to.
Like a militant feminist who
Mhm.
hates the gays.
Biological, right? Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Because
Well,
there's got to be some out there.
Well, there's the whole Baptist Church, Westboro Baptist Church, right? Who are all about, they're the ones who are like, God hates fags and shit, and they're the ones showing up to the dead soldiers funerals and stuff, saying like this is God's doing because of what you've allowed in the States and I guess North America for so
They're
long,
like the
right?
really bad conservatives that just give them a really bad name. Because they're all
Is it even
not,
conservative at that
well,
point when you just want to kill
they're
your own
religious.
people?
A lot of
evangelical.
Preaching
Preaching the good
that's,
word.
Oh, yeah.
That's
And
religion
brainwashing
and
children
and
shit.
politics mixing in, right?
Yeah, it's when you're preaching hardcore. It's like it's part of your religion to preach your religion.
And that's why I like, for the last decade or so, I feel like non-religion's the way to go. Unless you have fucking straight facts for me to prove that there's something elsewhere,
Yeah.
I'll continue to like experiment with my like psychedelic. I was about to say psychological drugs. And,
Psychological
like,
drugs.
You know what I'm saying though. Like I feel like spiritually, I've learned a lot on my more that on my own than I ever did with like 20 years of like going to church sporadically through the years. My mom was always about that. Like
Well-
every Christmas and shit, we'll do church just for my mom.
I'm
Oh,
a-
yeah.
I'm,
You know
I'm
what
a
I mean?
confirmed Catholic. I went to Catholic school my entire life. And if anything, it just opened my eyes of how bullshit it is and how, I don't know.
See, that's the thing. I'll go to church for her on Christmas, but there was never any mention of sobriety. So I'll at least have a couple of these, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
To
yeah.
really like set your scape.
And hey, man,
And then it's all about looking around the crowd at the people that actually buy the shit that they're saying, as good as it, I don't know, as good as it is for like maybe your mental well-being. Do you guys hear that?
I do.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on here. As good as it is for maybe your mental well-being, like really like just take a step back now and again and really think about maybe there's more. Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
and the
let's figure out
morality
what's
thing
going
too, right? It's like a good way to, hey, if you want to be happy and that makes you happy, you want to live the way you
Sure.
live, and that's going to make you live a better life, and you want to live by the rules or whatever that, to be a good person, whatever, that's fine.
I find with religion,
But people take it a step too far.
it's just like with children. Like some children really thrive with structure,
Yeah.
and they need structure. They need something
Children,
to
though.
structure children, but also
Yeah, you're right.
also adults.
Everybody.
Adults are a lot like children. And a lot of people need that structure in their lives. And yes, religion's a little hokey and a little funky, but I feel like a lot of people would be a lot worse off without it.
But then look how many wars and shit.
I totally
started.
agree, and I don't mean everyone,
But
but
it's
I
just
think
like I
some
was
people
saying,
would be a lot
Some
worse off
people
without
take
it.
it a little bit too far.
Is it not interesting how fast the population sways to that shit? Do your headphones sound better now?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I don't know what I did, but it seems to be working for now.
Attaboy.
Just got a new mixer, so I'm testing her out. Yeah, I just feel like it's a little scary about how much of like the American and Canadian population like just kind of buys into the whole like Christianity thing. Because that's my understanding of things, obviously, from my upbringing. But there's a lot of people who are just like, yeah, this makes sense. The whole like virgin birth thing, it's like, come on, bro. Somebody was lied to a long time
of people
ago,
don't even have
right?
a choice, though. They're just born into it. and it's
I was
very-
born into it.
I was too, right?
Mhm.
But my mom's like, you have to.
So you think it's a generational thing?
Yeah, I think it is, but I think now nowadays with
And it is maybe still a lot of people like me who are just like there now and again to keep mom and dad happy, right?
I've certainly done that myself, but it's on its way out, man.
I apologize, gentlemen. I
Organized.
apologize.
Oh, it's for what? It's your
Let it
joint.
go out, yeah, no big deal, man.
Sorry to cut you off as well.
Oh, it's no problem. But yeah, organized religion is not what it
Mhm.
once was. That's for sure. I mean,
It's a moneymaker now.
we definitely, I would say almost definitely live in a secular world. And
Can you define that for the dummies in the room?
we live in a world, I would say, mostly ruled by reason and not by religion.
Yeah,
For the most part,
for the most part.
I'm going to say that with a heavy heart because, yes, there's a lot of crazy world leaders out there who are very, very, very much still obsessed with religion. Most of them are in the Middle East, but we're not getting into that.
Well, even America too. Like, in God we trust is on their money and stuff.
That's
like that,
a
you know?
really good point.
Like,
Even if you're not thinking about it, it's
especially
still.
if you go down south to Texas and like southern states of America.
Yes, but
they're all like.
But at least they give the appearance of the separation of church and state, where certain Islamist countries are straight. This is the law because this is the religion.
Yep.
I mean, at least we don't have that.
I watch, at least on my last days off, I've been going on like a To Catch a Predator bender.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm on a forensic file bender myself
Did you
right
know
now.
that's legit? So Forensic File, that's
talking
just
about
like cop
Chris
stories
Hansen?
and stuff.
Is that who you're talking about?
Chris Hansen's back.
But there's a bunch of other guys that do
There's
it.
a
Hanson's
bunch-
back.
Yeah, there's a bunch of other guys like Anxiety Wars. There's a guy in Texas. I can't remember.
Big dude.
Big Ginger.
Yeah.
Yeah, his videos aren't
Usually meets him at Walmart.
exactly.
Yeah,
His videos aren't as good though.
It
He says a lot of weird shit. Like he'll say homo and
It's all-
shit and
it's all
fag
good
and like,
convo.
bro, like he preaches like the word of God to all the people that he confronts and stuff. But like he'll drop some weird bombs now and again too. That it's like, man, I guess things are just bigger in Texas, right?
Well,
Like,
there's like, I don't know. There's a certain amount of passion associated with that kind of preaching. You know, like you get turned up.
it's not like he's hating them. Like he's just like with his
Mhm.
buddies setting up to catch one of the
Well,
predators, and
and
he's
he-
making
he-
like F jokes and.
He's trying to expose them and make them look like a fool.
Yeah. But I just
He's
mean like
we're
his
not gonna- he's a big
his
dude. He
demeanor
tells them, he's like, "I'm
and
not
the
gonna
way
hurt
he
you,"
jokes around.
but
Yeah,
They don't go anywhere because they think he's gonna grab them.
the guys always show up in flip flops. It's like, where are you gonna run to anyways,
Yeah.
bro? And these flip flops, like. Yeah, and they'll always like chase them out to their car and get their license plate, and then it's like, oh, game over, man. That's it.
Yep.
You know?
Good.
No, you're good. I'm never good.
I'm always good.
I'm like
I don't want to
good
get too
like
good.
50% of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that from?
Nothing.
From
You
now,
sure?
Right now.
I'm
Supper
trying.
for dinner?
I'm trying to supper for dinner. 50% of the time, every time.
Oh, that's Anchorman.
That's 60%
Percent
of
of
the
the
time.
time.
So sorry.
It works 60% of the time,
Oh,
every
that's
time.
Okay, round 2 for our fucking Aussie buddy before we really get into our videos.
Okay.
Why not, right?
Yeah, I watched a few. It's good.
Boom!
Did you do that to Joe? You'd be fucking.
Look at this. Fucking slingshot, man. And he misses.
Breaks his pinky.
Oh no!
It's pretty funny though, right? Like,
Yeah.
Australians are crazy too. They're really fucking good people. They love to party.
One of our
look
new
right in
hires.
the
that
picture.
we're-
Right in the picture. I would be mad about that one. What do you think about that, Joe? Would you ever employ your buddies to make you quit smoking?
If I employed them to,
If you, yeah, I guess if you agreed to it, because that's my assumption for these
That's-
videos.
they-
Like, I feel
they
like,
would
Wanted
be-
to quit that bad.
they would be that ruthless.
yeah, I feel
or
like,
more probably.
I feel
Not
like-
your buddies, but I know how you kind of are, and I think they'd be a little bit over the top.
I'm a little ruthless.
I feel like he sat down with the boys drunken one night. We're like, I'm worried that like this is gonna be
Yeah.
shaving off 25 years, 30 years of my health, or something like that, and be like, you guys need to help me stop. And then he sobered up the next day, but all the boys were like,
We're doing this.
yeah, we're doing this. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Watch yourself,
Oh,
Joe.
the fucking slingshot.
Watch yourself, Joe
Oh.
fam. Yeah, that was retarded. Like,
Fireball right in
they
the
get
fucking-
worse. Just so you guys know, if we get through them all today,
Oh
then
my
yeah,
God.
they get much worse. I'm just hoping that I get good all my fucking settings here properly. If I keep this going when I move, then I'm definitely gonna like get a bro to like be this guy to like make sure everything's filming properly and like play this.
Have a
video
production
here.
assistant.
I'm not gonna call it that. I'm not gonna call it that. This is not a
Then you have to pay them more.
No. This is not a professional job at all. You're in this for the lulz, or
Yeah.
you're not in this, right?
You can be an amateur and have a production assistant.
Sure, I'm just not gonna call it whatever that was, right? It's not like I went to school for this for a year.
job titles.
Yeah,
Go for them.
Mr. CDP at the old Blackbird Brewery that we were just at for
CDP
lounge.
with PhD and THC.
I like that.
Um,
I'm gonna put that on a card.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
do we want to talk about lunch at Joe Fam's fucking restaurant?
Oh yeah. How was lunch, guys? Do you
Lunch
enjoy
was
your
great.
chowder and
I
your
was thinking about
sandwich?
getting the fried chicken sandwich on the way out, but I just figured we'd have more beers today, so wanted to
Yeah.
keep the belly kind of empty.
I
We
wanted to-
have
I
had
wanted
a
to
couple
put
beers
something
today.
in there, but
Yeah.
so I choked down that sub. It was good.
That was quite a large sub.
It was covered in. They just.
It wasn't. It's not really that much. It's only 4 ounces.
looked really
of,
fucking good.
What's it called?
Maybe
Ribeye. Shaved
just
ribeye,
because
yeah.
I had the chowder. That chowder was bomb.
That chowder is
Not
good.
too much potato.
We're pretty happy with our chowder.
And you said you played like a pretty decent role in like the making of the menu.
I would say about 40% of me is
Cool.
on there.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you said the gentleman we met when we just came in there. That's the owner.
That's the owner, and he's
Cool.
been the owner for quite some time. He was the owner when the original Russo House opened 22 years ago,
Mm.
and now we've rebranded.
And you guys,
Yeah.
you came on just before.
I came on about 3 years ago.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
even. Fuck, man. I
Yeah,
didn't
I've
know
been
that.
working there for about 3 years.
Hang on. So when did we get together before the last podcast? Was it up north?
It must have been, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So you've been in the area, living in Ancaster until
Hamilton.
recently? Hamilton, okay. Sure.
Hamilton.
And you've been sailing the sweet seas, hey?
Yep, for the
Yeah.
past 3 months. On and off in
Mhm.
between 5 months, probably.
And we're all Muskoka crew.
Yeah.
We've talked about it. We've talked about it with Steve,
Yep.
but I don't think we've been together yet.
No?
Yeah, we did the Rocky. Like I said, that was probably
Rocky
one of the
Trail?
best summers of my
It was
20s.
fun. It was really fun.
Now that I'm closing out the 20s,
It was an exciting time.
it was a good time. It pretty much had
It was eventful.
literally, yeah, honestly, literally,
Yeah.
everything that I didn't get out of the college university experience, even after going back
Yep.
to college after all this shit, I got with you boys, Lenny and Will up north.
Oh yeah.
So I still feel like me going to University of Guelph and getting the contact that got me up north was just a part of like the journey, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody kind of goes through some part of post-secondary school, even if it's like dropping out of college, which I did.
Well, fucking happens, man.
It's all about the cooking thing, really. That's such a skill to get when you're young.
It's a good skill to know
Fuck
for
me.
anybody.
Holy
Anybody,
shit.
It's a basic
Well,
human skill, pretty much.
It is,
Like,
like just to
every-
be able to not
if you
kill
know how to cook
yourself
for
if you're on
yourself,
your own, right?
You know, and great if you can cook for other people. Too.
But at the same time, like you've been part of like this huge startup for a new business in like a really decent little metropolis, right? In Ancaster, and you are fucking hopping on metal boxes in the ocean and
730
cooking
foot
food on them for a little bit.
freighters bringing you guys your wheat and your iron ore and your
Sounds like a game of Rust all of a
salt.
sudden.
That's shit that we need.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
'Cause you don't realize what.
Yo, thanks for the wheat,
No
dog.
problem, bro.
Thanks for
Yeah,
the
we
wheat.
got that
for the
Robin
wheat.
Hood flour mill in.
Thanks for
what do you
all
call
that
it? Port
shit.
Colborne.
Yeah.
That's where we drop it off.
PC, the old PC.
Yeah.
Thanks for the wheat.
Where the wheat?
Yeah, it's
I
crazy.
love gluten.
It's crazy how like
Love it.
like not a simple skill, but it basically can be a simple skill. You don't have to be like an artist about it. Like I'm definitely not as refined culinary as you guys, but to be able to cook food for you and then support other people as well, like it's a lot, right? It's a good skill to have now.
It's a great skill to have now. I love the fact that I can call myself a tradesperson and I work in a place that has alcohol. Those have always
Yeah.
been two big selling points for me.
Are you unionized as well?
No.
Okay, sorry.
No. Yeah, I just think it's fun. You get to be an artist, but you also get to be kind of a badass.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't deal with people in the kitchen, right?
You
deal
do.
with
You,
minimal kit.
you do and you
minimal
don't.
minimal people.
I find the further and further I get in my career, the more and more I have to deal with people I don't want to deal with.
Is that okay? Maybe I should restate that. You don't have to deal with clientele. Is that false?
That is false.
Okay,
yes.
cool. See, this is again talking about like the difference between working
Yeah.
at Swiss Chalet
Especially
and
if you're a
then.
head chef too, you gotta go
I-
to the hotel and talk to
I
tables.
understand that.
You get your regulars.
I
They
know
expect
I
you.
grew up in Ancaster, so I know a lot of people in Ancaster, and I am definitely one of the more sociable chefs there.
Mm.
So I'm going out often and I'm talking
It's
to
important to be
people.
part of your community, right?
I'm dealing exactly.
Mhm,
I'm
mhm.
dealing with, if there's an issue, I'll go talk to a table, and even if it's just to
Say
go
hello.
say hello, how
They
you
like
doing?
that, and
Like
they want to come back. They feel
exactly.
Special. They want to come back.
And
to the restaurant.
all I'm doing is having a conversation. We're not even spending money.
No.
All we're doing is having a
And
conversation.
what's the worst that's gonna happen? They're gonna buy you a glass of wine or something when you're done your shift,
Exactly.
which happens quite often.
It's fun.
I get that. That makes sense. I remember like Chef Ken was always about like going out on Friday nights and stuff and making sure like in Clubhouse
Yeah.
that like everybody was happy and shit. Because I guess those were the big days.
That I would say is probably
It was a
like
huge-
50 to 100% why I do it so much now.
Chef
Because
Ken?
he made me do it so much then. And now I'm just used to being like, okay, like, do you want me to go out in the dining room and see if they're okay? And everyone's just like, yeah, you know what?
So how
you
long?
should go do that.
How long into like the game from Muskoka were you? Because you went to not George Brown. You went to.
I went-
Sorry, stop. You went.
You know this.
Not
You
to
should
Niagara,
you should know this.
The other one, not Niagara, the university.
Oh, I know this.
I feel like such a piece of shit right now.
It's in St. Catharines.
I know it is. It's right there. I drove past it all the
The
time.
only one.
Where's my phone?
Do you want me to tell you?
Fuck.
If you can
It's
walk,
four
you-
beers and a bunch of weed, right?
I can walk and talk.
Go ahead.
I went to Brock.
Brock. Fuck my life.
But
Fuck, that was it. Brock, if you
Brock
can walk and
Andrews.
talk, you can go to Brock.
we also
Sorry.
went to Niagara.
Yeah.
Oh, so you did go to Niagara.
Yeah.
I don't think we talked about this before.
Right,
See, I didn't know that.
Wait, okay. Because we're all together, I assumed you went to Niagara with us.
No,
I
no,
keep
no.
forgetting.
See, I know that I've talked to you about this before. That's so funny.
Craig didn't
I
go
was
to
like,
Niagara.
Craig
No,
go with
man.
us.
No.
I went to Niagara
Because-
after for fucking weed shit. Yeah.
Okay, because a bunch of us came from Niagara College
Mhm,
and worked with each other in Muskoka.
I was at Guelph, just like
four of us.
Yeah, bunch of us.
Five
Will,
of us.
Lenny, James.
Ian.
Ian,
Oh, so a bunch.
Preston.
I still
me,
follow him on the gram.
on the
Ian.
gram.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's doing recently, but
think
like
he works
I remember he got
brewery.
sick a while ago.
Yeah.
Super sick, and they're
Oh,
going for
fuck.
more surgery. Because remember he got
Oh,
sick when we were
after?
there.
Yeah.
After all that?
He went in for more, but like he's still alive.
I didn't
So
know that.
hey, good
Hey,
genes, good genes.
being alive.
Weak but good genes, I guess. I
Kobe.
don't know. Heyo.
Alright.
We're not gonna talk about any real
No,
life.
we're
No.
not
Any
getting-
real life shit does not come
No,
into this
no, no,
podcast.
Just
Supper for
personal,
dinner, dog.
just
real-
personal,
real life
just
shit.
personal experience.
Supper
Yeah.
for dinner.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Anyway.
try not to talk about news
know.
and shit. Back on.
I'm lighting this dude.
I did not go to Niagara. I have another one.
No.
Here too.
Well, you did. You did go to Niagara.
But
Yeah,
not-
but after.
not for- yeah.
Just to make it a little more
So
confusing.
anyway, you're getting his background and
So he went to Brock. Was it not for cooking?
No, I went to Brock for
See, I
English
didn't know this.
English lit.
Fuck
I
me.
have
Fuck me.
I have an English lit degree with a minor in
I
classics.
did know this. For some reason, I thought there was
So
some
I'm a
kind
book
of.
reading
I
motherfucker.
thought there was some kind of cooking course or some shit at Brock as well. So you went to Niagara after. So you were in the same class as James, Will, Lenny. Gotcha.
and me.
And Preston. Preston came late. I've talked about this in the podcast before, but fuck it, people are watching this shit anyways.
I am.
That's fantastic. I love you for it. Yeah, no, I never did. And then I went from Rocky Crest to like a pub in Waterdown, which we probably drove past. I worked there for like was it a year, give or take? And then I was like, it's one of those fucking experiences, kitchen experiences where you're working with like drunks and shit.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I know that, but-
the angry drunks work on a Friday, Saturday night.
The lifers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still there.
Yeah,
My
miserable.
dad's like a
And they don't do their job right. That's the big thing. Like, if you're
That's-
gonna be a drunk, fuck, do your job right.
like they did their job right, but they were just such a hostile thing that I didn't want to be there forever. And it's like if you don't make the jump at some point, you're never gonna make the jump. As weird as that, as fucking stupid as that sounds, you need to just kind of head first, go jump blind. And it's not like I made that big of a jump. I went from working there part-time for fucking decent money back in the day to going to corporate Swiss Chalet, working full-time, and this was my first kind of introduction to working by myself. So I was the morning guy who would be in there first thing to do all the chicken prep and all the kitchen prep up until it was from 7 till I think like 9:30, 10. Because we didn't open before lunch, right? Podcast. That's what got me into like Joe Rogan and everything like that. That's when I got kind of skinny for a little bit.
Yeah.
And one of those fucking podcasts inspired me to make the drive out to Vancouver. And then it's like, fuck, this is pretty doable. And then it's like, what else can we do here? And that's when cannabis season was coming to town. And it's like, you could do this, if you threw a year or two back into college or something, you could actually do something that might be pretty interesting down the road, right?
Yeah, man.
10 grand later, yeah, that's what.
And you worked at that
10
place
grand.
out in Iron Lake, was it?
Niagara on the Lake, the greenhouse on the college.
I think.
Yeah, no, I worked at
Hold on. Did you work at or no?
Tweed.
Tweed.
Tweed,
okay,
yeah, I
okay,
worked
okay.
That was my co-op.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I ended up dropping out before graduating just because
Oh, okay.
combination of like I got a sweet job offer and the fact that like my last semester was kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
It was a lot like the last 3 semesters combined, or it was just a lot of repetition. I could have graduated. It hasn't really played negatively so far. Like I have lineups for Newfoundland and shit already.
Yeah,
that was before I left in the first place too. So I don't know. I don't want to put too many eggs in one basket, but it feels like it hasn't shot me in the foot too much. A little bit of deception going on with certain people who might believe that I've graduated.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? But it's one of those things where no harm, no foul, right?
Yeah.
That's what they
Like,
say.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, well, I'm all about that shit. First of all, I remember working at Swiss Chalet one day.
But no, literally, don't fake it till you make it. That's not good.
What do you mean?
Not
completely fake it.
No.
Like, you don't want to go on a culinary cruise line,
It's different
never
with different
cooking
things.
never cooking a meal,
Or take on a.
right?
Well, that would, if you show me someone who could do that, and I will show you a good planner.
But
I will give them a job for sure.
That's literally like faking as much as you can until you
Yeah.
literally get in front of the grill and don't know how to
Yeah.
cook like
or
a
brain
lobster or
surgery and
something.
you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Even better.
Yes, no, that you
even
can't
better,
do.
No.
even
That
better
you can't
example
do.
right there. I can't even think about shit like that
No.
because it'll freak me out. I'm really weird about like blood and needles. I don't know about you guys, but like that and heights is like my huge phobia.
We have this group of surgeons actually who come in quite regularly, and they're just gentlemen of such incredible bravado. I can't even explain you.
They're
Surgeons
kinda
are
like
they're fucking
Pro douches
they're
or
fucking
pro
jet
bros?
pilot
Pro
fucking
bros?
captains, bro.
Pro bros. Pro
Are
bros.
they good people? Though?
It's like, oh yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to ask.
Yeah.
But like they are fucking what's the name of fucking
They're like astronauts.
Goose and
Oh, Iceman.
Iceman, yeah.
Really,
They're
eh?
fucking Goose and fucking Iceman,
So
man.
a little bit, and like,
Oh, they're so obnoxious too. Oh
okay,
my
so
God.
they are bros.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so pro bros.
Pro bro.
The pro bros, good for them, man.
Yeah, but they're like these 50-year-old surgeons, and they're straight up rock stars. One's like
dude,
the,
you'll stumble across now and again on Reddit like 50-plus-year-old guys trying to pick up like 18, 20-year-old girls.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's like
I
pro
saw-
bros, just like that, you
I
know,
saw that
like
on-
the silverback hair, like Trump hair, and then fucking like wearing a t-shirt and a suit jacket.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's a different fucking world, I
Some
guess.
Epstein
Like,
shit.
oh, these guys don't give a fuck. Like they have families. They come in scrubs. One time, one of them came in bloody scrubs, and we're like, straight up, bud, you gotta change.
What?
You can't be in here.
at work
They're
or
they
at the restaurant.
they think they're fucking gods,
No
man.
way.
They think they can do nothing
You know how many
wrong.
people are fucking
Like,
saying
yeah,
and
do you know how
stuff?
many hearts I fucking sewed together today? Are you kidding me? I have to change my scrubs?
I've been.
This is the blood of someone I saved.
Oh man, that's fucking
You ignorant
disgusting.
peasant.
Is it not?
Oh my god.
Does it not make you sick? Because it made me a little sick. Oh,
How do you like?
I'm
your
sorry,
teeth
you
there, buddy?
just had mentioned
I
that
like
you
it.
had a thing with blood and needles, and then I tell
was
you
just
this
gonna
story.
say, like,
I'm a blue rare steak. Matter of fact, just
I'll eat blue steak. Don't get me wrong, but I was gonna say like I'm watching like a bunch of old seasons of Survivor back because there's like a huge like 40th season all winners season coming
It's
in.
the 40th season?
It is the 40th.
oh, you're talking
season.
about Survivor. the
Survivor,
show.
but
Okay.
the
Yeah, my
season-
parents like the show.
the
Like 4-0?
4-0, man.
I'm
Yo,
not 40 years old.
Hey,
They're pulling out
2 a
double-
year.
2 years.
Canadians are allowed to apply now.
Really?
I done it. I threw in a little video
Jesus
and
Christ.
shit. Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you? Really?
40
Man, that would,
seasons?
come on. Would that not be sweet?
That'd be wicked.
That would be wicked,
Do
right?
it.
There's been
I'll need
people
to edit this and
surviving for
throw
20
this.
years?
Okay.
man.
Anyways, talking about doctors and shit.
Jesus.
Don't get me
Murphy.
up. Don't get me
Back
in.
to
Don't get me in
doctors.
Survivor World. This podcast will last 4 hours longer than it needs to.
That's what happens, man.
The season that I'm watching right now. Oh my god. Dude, have you watched the most recent season where they had Exile Island and the fuckers didn't get voted off because
Anyway, back to neuroscience.
there's a doctor on the current season that I'm watching, and like you said, he's the biggest like cunt that they've had, and they just kicked him off in the episode before we all got together, so I was really happy about it. Let's get to another video.
Cool.
What are we watching here?
I'll let you guys pick here. So we have more Australian videos. Hang on here. We have. Oh, I have a few. No, I'll let you guys pick. Okay, if you can read it, We have a bunch of
good eyes
Aussie
and I can't-
videos. We've got a certain blind taste test. You're just gonna have to go by the titles for now.
You know what? You pick, man.
I'll pick.
Yeah, you just go for it.
What's good?
You're the host with the most, man. Just do it up.
Speaking of which, I should probably turn this off for a second. Welcome back to Supper for Dinner podcast episode, I believe, 32 with my good buddies from Muskoka, Joe Pham and P. Diddles, Preston Maxwell, back from the fucking 7 Seas.
Reunited, and it feels so good.
That's right. After how long you were saying? You
me
had
and
okay,
Joe
when's the
probably-
last time you guys?
5 or
Muskoka,
6
right?
years,
I would say
probably
a long
at
time,
your,
a very long time.
probably at your place
At the cottage, eh?
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I should have
5
grabbed
years
that
ago.
video. I have a video still
How-
saved.
is that 5 years ago?
It is 5 years.
Or more.
No, it's 5. Because
Is it 5?
I'm pretty sure it was the 2015.
2014 or 15 in between there.
That is obscene. It's
2015.
It's 2020, man.
It is 2020.
It's
We're
2020.
still here. Simpsons predicted all of this, bro.
Oh man.
Okay. Let's get real for a second. This is
Right.
super cool.
What's so cool about it?
So this chick comes up with this a board, little buttons for her dog.
Oh, this is the dog button.
You've seen this?
No, you were telling me about it though.
Last podcast?
No, just a couple of minutes ago.
Fuck me. That would've been awesome.
That's why I was like, I'm not smoking 2 giant joints. Like,
Hang on. Whoa. Okay, this is Stella.
Okay, I hear you. Let's go.
Oh, what? She's talking. Or it could
You
just
mad?
be bullshit.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll fix it. Oh my gosh. Health water outside? Yeah, your beach button broke. Okay, we'll go to the beach.
So that was like buttons that they had trained the dog. You think it's fake?
I don't think that it was fake. I think it was circumstantial.
Yeah, I'm leaning
Yeah.
towards
I
Preston
think
on
it
that
could
one.
Yeah,
have
okay.
been real, maybe.
Yeah.
But that's the whole thing about circumstance.
Because
Like,
there's like other
you
videos.
can interpret that to be whatever.
That's
right?
fair.
Like,
That's a good point.
Like if the
I
dog
was obsessed with this for a
if-
couple of days.
if the dog had like a selection of words in front of him and said something like "You are the best,"
Like he's
then
talking.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
"Holy shit, that dog knows words."
It's weird, 'cause
but
I thought
it
I
seems like
kept-
he's just walking on the
I
buttons.
thought I
Yeah.
kept in a clip that said like "look outside" and there was something outside, but fucking
Yeah, well,
YouTube magic and
there could
shit
have been
cut
so
it out.
many
I
other
guess.
ones before when
That's
the
a
dog
good
stepping
point.
on her
Maybe-
I'm all about skeptical shit.
Maybe it's real though, and maybe
It
it's a
could be.
genius dog.
Could be.
I'd like to think there are genius dogs
See,
out
that's,
there.
That's my whole
I watch a
thing.
lot of forensic files where the dog literally saves the entire case.
I was gonna go on and be like, how cool would it be? I was gonna go on and be like, how cool would it be if it became like cat tech? You know what I mean? So the cats could literally say like, "Feed me now, asshole!" Like,
You're
I
the
need
worst.
scritches. You're the worst. Why is it so fucking cold in here? What's going on, Finn? The cat you've been obsessed with.
He's a good cat.
He'll sit on all the
It's
vents.
quality cat.
Those are his spots, like all the heating vents and shit. When the furnace goes on, he knows to like, curl up and just fall asleep on there.
That's a good idea for a cat.
He's a smart
Very
kitty.
strategic.
Okay. Damn that video! I thought that was pretty sweet, but
It was.
it's good for I need skeptics in my
It's
life,
not everything's fake.
It's cool, but yes, I don't believe it.
but it could be bullshit.
I think it
Okay,
is.
cool. I feel
But
you.
then
I
anything could
feel
be
you,
bullshit.
dog. It could all be bullshit. Kobe
Yeah,
could
but I don't
still
think
be alive,
everything-
right?
Whoa, get off that political recent stuff, bro.
What do you mean? Kobe's not political. I don't even like basketball, man.
Because remember I said Kobe and you're like, no, we don't talk about Kobe.
Oh, did I say that?
You did.
No, we were talking about political shit.
No, you ripped him. You ripped him
You
good.
tore me, man.
I'll rip you
That was the
even
first-
better.
That was the deepest.
I'll rip you even better.
Really joking.
All I need to say is
I'm
Tony
literally-
Hinchcliffe, Kobe joke.
I'm
Look it
I
up.
don't even care. I like it. Like I said, I shared that picture today of Jesus crossing.
Jesus
over
saves. Jesus saves, bro.
Jesus sets the serious pick on Kobe.
Okay.
Kobe. Oh yeah.
Next video.
He broke his ankles, dude.
Okay, we're all former post-present cooks here. Let's check this one out.
Oh no.
Easy. Really easy one.
Woo!
I've seen this though too. Yeah.
Has anybody experienced the fire extinguishers? and
I
shit
never.
going off everywhere?
I'm so glad that I haven't. But
Yeah.
like, there are situations where I've definitely been at home where I've been like, if I had a fire suppressant system, I'd be fucked right now.
Oil.
This one time, the worst time, like I had my own apartment over on Ontario Street, and I had like apartment all to myself. It was pretty nice, pretty big one. And one night I came home.
Is that the place
drunk.
I was at?
Maybe,
Yeah,
maybe not.
maybe. It was like straight downtown St. Catharines.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lived in two different ones. I lived in St. Paul and I lived on Ontario.
I think it was St. Paul.
Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
No, it wasn't that one.
Mm.
But anyway,
I lived on St. Paul.
I bought a bunch of
Wow.
ducks really cheap.
Ducks?
Yeah, so I like
Dead ducks.
Yeah, like ducks at the grocery store.
Like pet ducks?
Cooked ducks.
No, dead.
Okay.
I said
Okay.
dead
Co-
ducks.
King Cole ducks.
Okay. I missed that.
Cold King Cole with
King
a
Cole.
very
Yeah,
old
yeah.
soul and
Anyway,
a very
so
old
I bought
soul.
they were like $5
And he also has
Each.
lots of ducks.
at the
Pedophile.
grocery store, so I bought them. This is going in. the
Yeah.
fire
You
thing,
you got the
fire-
ducks. I got you.
I got the ducks.
You got the ducks.
I'm gonna
So,
piss
like, four in my
myself.
freezer. So anyway, I came home drunk one night, and I don't know if you've ever cooked duck, a whole duck.
No.
It takes a long time. So I came home drunk one night. And I'm like,
What are you?
I'm gonna cook a fucking duck. So I rub it with fucking all the seasoning. I put it in a cast iron pan. And I leave it in there on low and slow. And I'm like, I guess I took a nap and fell asleep. I
Oh!
wake up, dude. I wake up to billowing black smoke. And I don't know if you ever smelled burnt duck fat, but it's tasty shit, duck fat.
Yeah.
But when you burn it,
When you burn it,
it's horrendous.
it's gone,
And
eh?
it, dude, it stuck to the walls of my apartment.
Oh my god.
And I literally had the building manager came up to my door and knocked. I finally woke up. Because I'm laying on the couch. The spill of smoke is like a foot above my face, but it's thick as shit. So as soon as I woke up, my head goes into the cloud of smoke. And I'm like, holy fuck. I'm like, it's okay. Like,
It's just a duck.
Fire's out. There's no fire. It's just smoking. And I calmed them down and whatever. And then, like, literally, next day, I'm like, oh, I'll air this bitch out and it's going to smell fine tomorrow. No. That duck smell was in my house for like 2 weeks. I had to go buy incense.
The rest of forever?
Yeah. It stuck to the walls, man. Don't burn a duck and don't cook one while you're drunk.
Would that have set off the fire suppressant system?
I turned it.
At like a kitchen?
If I have
At a kitchen, it would have, eh?
100%.
Yeah. Because you fell
It was
asleep
a
for a
blade
solid
like
hour or
thick-
so, or what?
who knows how long.
I
had
can.
it on
You don't
the-
know.
I don't even know.
Okay, cool.
I don't even fucks with cooking birds in the oven anymore. I just sous vide everything and then just do a
So
fucking
that's
high
when you
temp
do it
sear.
underwater in a bag, right?
Yeah, vacuum sealed.
That's
Yeah.
fucking science and food mixing. Once I was talking about that at lunch, right?
You throw it in the
I'm
oven
gonna
for at
Went
500
to
to
the
sear.
washroom for 1 minute.
I think we all need to do that.
Okay, we're gonna take a pause here, break, and
I'm allergic to dust, and I find that every morning my nose is plugged up from
nose is plugged, eh?
plugged up, and my sinus is all congested. But after 10, 15 minutes of being up and going and moving around,
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Hmm.
But fuck.
Do you
As
know
soon
that
as I-
that's dust?
As soon as I get up, I need to blow my nose. I don't really know what causes it either. I also have a big hole in my septum, so that could be that. But
That's just
who knows?
genetics, right?
Hmm?
That's just genetics, right?
yeah, well, depends. Depends what you
I'm
consider
sorry.
genetics.
I'm sorry. I've snorted a few things in my day too.
Oh, well, I've snorted a little more than a few things. There's a big hole in my nose now.
Anyway.
It's supper for dinner, guys. Come
Supper
on.
for dinner.
Back to supper with dinner.
Next video. Let's. Okay, let's do the blind taste test.
Alright, cool.
I love you, Joe.
I love you too, buddy.
Look, all right. Can you grab one more?
See that?
What's this? All right. Okay, D, we're here. I'm finna just put this one.
No.
I'm finna just put this one on the
One more time, bro.
One more
Salve
time.
straw.
That's ruthless.
It's not over yet.
Gay.
Is it sour?
Nah, bro, you wrong, bro.
Yo, that's funny.
It's the sour worm. It's the sour straw. Do it one more time, bro. So I can. It's some gummy. It's some gummy, bro.
Oh my god.
Hold it. I'll let you hold
So
it.
good.
I'll let you hold it.
Now he's doing it. Volunteer. No, one-handing it.
Dove in for it.
This is a joke.
Man, what the fuck, bro?
I thought that was pretty fucking awesome when I
was
found
good.
that,
made
man.
me literally fucking-
I'm glad. I'm
Poor
so
guy,
glad that
man.
made you laugh.
That was good.
I mean, we've all pulled some. Okay, I got another
Oh,
one.
yeah.
You know what? Forget it. Let's just keep going with this. Okay, this guy's passed out after a party.
Well, I was gonna say actually something about dicks and pranking people.
Okay,
I remember when he smoked a bunch of poppers out in Muskoka when we were there, and he was out on the patio or whatever. I was with him with Will, and he fell back, and he's a
interesting
joker, right?
beer.
So I was thinking he's joking around and stuff, and he fell back in his chair, and he's like doing this, like having a seizure. We found out. I didn't know. And I
Oh,
started
fuck
humping
me.
his head because I was like, fuck him. Like,
a couple people with seizures in that fucking year, if I remember correctly.
so
Yep.
it's literally, as a joke to Will there, I'm like humping his head. I'm like,
No, I
"Oh,
was
that's
there
fine."
for that.
Were you there?
When was this? Was this when he had
It's
his little
Muskoka
fall?
at Maples or wherever. Or
His place.
Your place.
No, I think it was
Yeah,
his
no,
place.
it was your
It wasn't
place.
my
'Cause Will
place.
was there.
Oh, that's right. I remember
So
this.
anyway, I'm humping his head, and I'm like thinking he's joking around. I'm calling his bluff with my dick. I'm like, yeah, you want to pretend you're having a seizure? It's like I'm gonna hump him.
Calling his bluff.
So I'm like, he's pretending to have a seizure. I'm just gonna hump him until he snaps out of it. He didn't snap out of it. He just let me hump his head for like a good 30 seconds, and then like it got not funny. And I look at Will, and I'm like, oh shit! Sorry,
I think this is bad.
Dave is having a seizure. He's not right. Why would you let me hump his head for that long?
I was there for that.
That's when we knew something was wrong.
My face hurts.
That's when we knew something was wrong.
He hated you.
He didn't like me after that. He's like, man,
You have to hump my
he
head.
got all mad about it. He's like, well, I was like, man, quit fucking playing around all the time, man. Like, how am I supposed to take you seriously if you're playing around all the time and you have a fake seizure and I hump your head?
I was on shrooms. I think it was the summer after. Were you still? Okay, the second year you went up, were you in residence still?
Yeah.
Okay, this all lines up. I went up, and Lenny was there too, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was
And I
me, Lenny. It
technically
was me,
stayed
Lenny,
in-
Will, and
No. Will wasn't there.
No.
It was you and Lenny. You were in different places though.
Okay.
I remember I
I
was
don't remember.
crashing at Lenny's, but I stayed in my car. But the night that I was up there, was staying where Mike used to stay. Mike wasn't working at Rocky anymore.
This is after I had left.
This is
Yes.
year 2.
Yes.
So of the
Okay.
3 years, 2 and 3, we were not working there. He was there and Lenny was there.
Gotcha.
Lenny was not there for year 3.
Gotcha.
Correct.
Okay, so continuing on, went up to see these two, stayed at Lenny's place because it was our old room. You were on the other building, you had your own room or something, less people, right? Or you were next door, something like that. I don't
On
remember.
staff combination?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was sleeping in my car, but place was the place for that night. I think you were there, but there were other people there. I think Ryan might have been there. Anyways, I was walking up. I had just got to whoever's place, and he was down on the ground. He had slipped and fall. Something hurt his
Oh,
knee.
yeah.
Oh.
Right. He told me about that.
Okay, so he told you about that.
Apparently
Were you
he's
there?
been
for
having
that?
mad knee troubles. Like, I talked to him when I was
Well,
on the ship boss.
he what's it called? He was trying. We got my car stuck going up the hill to his spot, and he retore his fucking ACL or whatever the fuck, trying to help me get my car out of the ditch.
That is 100% what it was.
That's what it was.
He slipped, fell.
Because he's very top heavy.
Yeah, man.
I was on shrooms and he asked me to drive him.
I didn't ask him to help get the car out either. He just fucking started huffing and huffing and fucking tore out his tank, man.
He asked me to drive him to Perry Sound Hospital when I was on shrooms and got mad at me when I told him I'm on shrooms and I cannot do that.
Yeah.
He got like verbally abusive with me. And
He got real hateful.
that was honestly like I understand you're in pain, but you gotta understand like
I'm on
this isn't gonna end well for anybody. If I
just
try
fucked up
and
my
drive you,
No.
the best case scenario is we make it there and I get fucking arrested or
Yeah.
something. Worst case, we don't fucking make it.
You made the best decision you possibly
I remember
could.
that.
On
I remember
shrooms.
that. I think he said he apologized or something after the fact, like weeks after. But at that point, it was kind of like, sorry, dude.
Been colored for so long already.
Right?
I've done too much.
You've done some time. We've all done some fucking time.
Luckily, all I did was.
I was very
That's
lucky
legit.
actually.
That's
But
legit.
I have to do a few courses through the SIU actually to
SAU?
SIU,
SIU. So
Yeah.
that's going to be student.
Seafarers International
Okay.
Union.
Fuck my life,
It's all
right?
good. But yeah, no, we have to go to do an MED course, so your marine medical kind of shit. Where you
That's
have to,
important?
You have to do firefighting. You have to do all this shit.
Oh.
Well, you're on a boat, man.
So this is why you're paid $34 an hour.
But they give you 6 months of sea time until you have to do that.
Yeah.
So they give you that leeway time in between to do that. And
So
make
you
that,
haven't been like cleared for that shit yet.
But I can work without it for
Right.
6 months.
Yeah.
For 6 months. So for your first 6 months, you can make a bunch of bank and then bail.
You could, yeah.
And
if you want
But it
to.
doesn't make sense.
the
right?
union
Well, why would you do that?
How
the
hard is
union
it, right?
the union books and plans that training for you.
No, you have to do it yourself. You have to go up to Georgian College and get your tickets. Once you get them,
Georgian.
you bring it
Fuck,
back.
man.
It's an Owen Sound, yeah.
I was
Okay.
signed up for
Right
their.
on.
That was 2000.
So yeah, you do firefighting. You get in the wetsuits and jump in pools and practice emergency situations and shit like that. I haven't done it yet. but
That's
I have
pretty
to.
cool,
But it
actually.
costs about
That's
$3,000. It's pretty
What?
expensive. Yeah,
how many zeros?
3,000.
Okay, I thought I heard 30,000.
No,
That's a
3,000.
lot of money.
3,000 make that in 2 weeks. No problem.
Oh, it must be nice.
Yeah, that sounds pretty fucking dope, actually.
Well, not no problem, but on a good.
How many people do you think fail
You don't fail. What when you go to college?
to do your like all these extra?
People
you
people
don't
fail
fail.
in college.
Yeah, they do if you're a complete idiot. But most of the time, you're paying that money. They're gonna.
Fair enough.
They're gonna make sure.
That's a
you
good
pass.
point. Yeah.
Especially in like hands-on colleges, like if you're doing the firefighting stuff, they're gonna show you how to do it until you can do it right. You know what I mean? They're not gonna show you how to do it one time and be like, okay, you're done.
You can't do this, so
They're
you're
gonna
gone.
be like, let's,
Right.
That's like training. You know what I mean? They're gonna make sure you can do it. For the most part.
Just like how all that time they gave us to learn how to bake bread, and
you gotta watch those demos.
you get this for 1 week.
So
You got 1 week on bread.
That was key.
We're
Like,
going on a
I
tangent
found
here.
with baking, it was like if you just watch the demo, pay attention, and don't come in late from the pub, you'll be fine.
Yeah, don't come in drunk to class every day.
No, not every day.
You'll be fine.
That was my one
Don't
thing.
drink 2 people.
I might come in a little baked now and again, but like I wouldn't drink until I got off for the day.
Hilarious lectures. Remember what's that kid?
Did you have a wine class though?
No,
No,
That's
okay.
separate. But
Okay, true.
this kid Lucas, he would come in baked all the time, and we had this.
We had some fucking characters
we
in that
did,
class.
We did. It was
It's
very,
funny. We had a guy
remember
named
Brooke?
Lucas too.
Fuck, it was so funny, and that little love thing going on with her and
Lenny, I heard all about that bullshit. That was
But
disgusting.
This kid Lucas, though, he would come in baked all the time. We'd have
Lenny's gross, man. I love him to death, but he's gross.
if it walks, man. And he's on.
I'm not gonna say anything bad about that kid.
It's Simcoe, man. It just does something to him, man.
He's up in
That's
Alberta now, like for the last 4
Like
years.
Louise,
I visited him
yeah.
up when I went out west like 3 years ago.
Like the Leeds, yeah.
Yeah, it was not
I think-
easy
I don't know
going
what
getting
he's
him,
doing.
but
I don't know what his position is there, but
I think
it's
he's
pretty lax.
I think
from
he's
the Snapchats.
CDP, but yeah,
They don't
his
give a
Snapchats look fucking like pretty
Them
funny.
fucking around all
He
Yeah.
the
seems to
time.
be enjoying himself still.
That's what it's all about, right?
He's got to be like what, like 26?
No, 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 no,
26,
no, no,
27?
no, 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 no,
He's
no,
still
no,
a
no.
Ute.
I was 25, 26 when I was up there, and he was 18, 19.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So let's say 6 years under me. I'm coming 30, so he's going to be
Probably
24.
24.
25.
Okay, yeah.
So
That's,
yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
He was the young buck, and we picked on him. a lot.
We did. It was fun, too.
And he hated
Like,
it.
it's what you got to do, right? We've all been there. We've all fucking been there, especially in
Oh,
the
yeah.
goddamn culinary industry, dude.
Oh, yeah.
We're all here. We didn't kill ourselves. Like, cheers to that.
Oh.
I'm half joking.
We got this one kid, and he's new, and like, honestly, we have created such a great, like, honestly loving and caring atmosphere, and he doesn't realize how good he's got it because he hasn't really
hasn't
worked
been
anywhere
Worked
else.
elsewhere. Fuck.
And he just like when we ask
a
him,
cunt.
we have like pretty, I don't want to say high expectations of him because they're not that high, but like they're at a pretty good standard. Oh, he just acts like we're asking him to fucking
Fire him.
build a fucking pyramid.
Is
Fire
that
him.
the guy that was, we saw today? Liam, was it?
No, Liam.
Oh.
Liam is a fucking straight beauty. Oh
No,
my
not
gosh, he's
the
the
guy.
hardest working dishwasher in the
Okay.
entire world. He's so
Honestly.
rich as fuck. He doesn't give a fuck. He lives at home and he just does dishes to like because his parents want him to have a job.
Have a job.
He's a monster. He just goes to the gym all day. Otherwise,
Talking about his buys.
yeah,
That's so funny.
I love him.
Cool. That's what it's all about,
And
man.
he does a good job at his job too. So
That's what it's all about. I remember Caitlin. You guys would always talk
Oh,
about
yeah.
Caitlin.
Which
Was it Caitlin? Who was a
Who we talking
cook?
about?
Cook in the
Remember?
kitchen with you
She
guys?
was, like, doing those weird golem voices and shit. Can't get her chance up,
Oh, yeah.
top.
She was like 18. Not good.
Yeah.
She was very socially awkward.
Just happens, man.
Yeah.
So a lot of women, I've noticed, can't. I know a lot of good cooks that are women, but I think a lot of women can't handle it. in the kitchen.
I currently work with one lady. She's one of the newer hires, and she is fantastic.
Lady.
See, that's what I mean.
Lady?
Well, she's my age. She's 28,
Okay.
but she's a bigger girl, and she's not afraid to like make fun of the fact that she's a bigger girl,
Okay.
and
It's comfortable.
she's also not afraid of the fact to like just fucking destroy someone if they fucking fuck up.
So she can handle herself.
Yeah.
Confidence is what
That's
it's
what I
all
mean.
about.
And she's
Confidence.
one of the best cooks that I've ever worked with too. Like she's super talented, and
Look, to
It's
go
very
on the
interesting.
offense like that.
it's very interesting to have a girl on the offense exactly like
Yeah,
that.
But then most of them are those mousy little fucking. that
And
kind of-
they
They're the
work 30 jobs in a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Like not only did I worked with Caitlin, but I worked with this girl Nicole, and she was like, when I worked back in my pub days at London Arms, and she had worked there for like
London
she had
Arms.
worked there for like 15 years, and she was like this little mousy, like liked heavy metal and weird goth music and shit like that.
I know. I
But
very much know the type.
The nicest person in the world.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, just
No
should
good?
not be in charge of a kitchen, and
Mm.
she was kitchen manager.
Oh,
there.
she
Just because
was in
she'd been there for
charge.
so long, and was like, we'd all like complete our task and like be ready to get out of there cleaning shit, and she just would like be cleaning there all night, and then we're like, yo, can we go? And she's like, yeah, and then she's like still cleaning. I'm like, are you gonna go? And she's like, no, I'm cleaning. I'm like, okay.
Okay,
See,
bye.
in the
That's the
morning.
thing that like
Hope you don't live in eternal misery.
a lot of people don't think
She
about the
actually
cleaning.
worked until she was like 8 months pregnant,
Oh my
and literally had a full, and she was a
Jesus
petite girl, full belly, and she's like under the stoves cleaning them. We're like, Nicole, like, go home. That way I can go home.
Well, let's remember too that this is the London Arms, though an institution. I don't imagine the most labor respected
No,
establishment.
no, absolutely not.
I can't imagine any of the older establishments have solid. What am I trying to say here? Social practices with their employees, right?
Oh,
It's probably a money thing
Well,
at this point.
even the boss would tell her like he wasn't trying to overwork her or anything like that. She did it because she was like
that's the kind of girl she
over
is.
the top.
Mm.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm not a very
But
good
you also
cook,
know
so
that
I'm
when you
gonna be a
hire
good
somebody-
cleaner.
Yeah.
Clean shit till fucking you guys forget that I'm shit at cooking.
Mm,
That kind of thing.
true. I see that in the
I'm in a position I'm not comfortable in, so I need to overcompensate.
Yeah, exactly.
I see that. I see that in the fucking industry I work in. There's somebody who should be on the production team who does most sanitary work, and it's like, what are you doing here?
Mhm.
You know, you should be getting minimum wage, and you're getting the plants are Nope. Nope. Nope.
This is a safe place, bud. This is a safe place. It's all right.
Next video here, we're gonna play. Okay, this one I had fun with. The emoji speaks for itself. Boom.
Looking at my drip, looking at your drip.
Yo, I'd be so pissed.
I wouldn't be pissed. That went right through the car.
No.
Nice hat rack.
Thanks, man. Yo, that was good. That's a good idea.
I would
Especially
do.
that looks like a southern state.
I
That shit
would
can stick to
do.
anything.
Oh, it looked like Florida.
I enjoyed
There's
that.
palm trees
I
and
like-
shit.
I like
Yeah,
that a lot.
That's good.
I've had that video for probably 3 months and just haven't had it for the right podcast. You know
There you
what
go.
I mean?
Perfect. They got one like that actually. They throw it on babies' faces. You ever seen that?
I have seen that.
Okay, I was speaking earlier about how like I feel like shrooms may be more empathetic, but only towards animals.
Yeah.
Also to babies.
Yeah,
little human
I think
animals
it's the same thing
That haven't
because
become humans yet.
well, that's
They're
the whole.
different.
Well, it's pretty much that, but just the fact that like animals don't become humans, but they don't take on the whole psychology that we take on. That could be a little fucked up now and again to like throw cats in bags and throw them in the
did you
water.
just watch that fucking documentary?
Don't fuck with cats?
Yeah, that's good, eh?
I watched 8 minutes of it, and I
You
was
didn't watch
like,
it all?
well,
I watched it all. I looked up every snuff
I
video.
didn't know what it was about beforehand, and my dad put it on, and I'm like, I'm not gonna watch this. It was the lady news reporter talking about shit.
I did the exact same
just
thing.
let me finish.
I watched. I'm a sick fuck. I watched.
You watched
it
the
all.
whole thing?
And then
That's
I went
awesome.
On, and then I went on like the dark.
But
web
here's the
and
thing.
found
No.
everything.
I already know about Lucas Magnata
Yeah.
or whatever the
He
fuck
was-
his name
he
is.
sent those
I already
documents and
know
shit
about
to me.
him. So I was listening to a podcast. I think it was like a Bill Burr podcast or something for a couple days after, and they just so happened to be talking about this because it just dropped on Netflix and shit. And they were saying like, "Oh no, it was Tiger Belly." Do you guys know Tommy Lee?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sorry, Bobby Lee.
Bobby
Asian.
Lee, yeah,
Asian.
yeah.
Mad TV.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know about.
So
it.
he has his own podcast.
Yep.
Check that shit out. It's fantastic. It's just crazy, funny bullshit. Anyways,
It's him and his girlfriend, right?
you got it.
Yeah.
So they were talking about Lucas Magnata and Don't Fuck with Cats,
Yeah, yeah.
and they had already covered like what he did before. You know, Lucas Magnata, Toronto guy.
Yeah,
He pulled in some Chinese guy for an acting thing and stabbed him
He
to
was
death.
famous from like that most people know him was for mailing body parts to Parliament. He sent like a hand to the Conservative Party.
That was the guy.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
guy. But what everyone didn't know was how they came about to catch him, and how they did it was through this documentary. I guess he started uploading videos of him like killing cats on YouTube and uploading it to YouTube.
That's what the whole documentary is about, right?
Yeah, it was showing how they came about to catch him, and then like another one was like a python eating the cat, some horrible shit. And like I said, when I looked up the actual videos, I didn't sit there and watch them all. I was like, "Is this actually real?" I was like, "Yeah, it's real."
I
Okay.
almost
Then I got off
think
that
that
shit.
whole thing with like cat versus snake is better than a bunch of kittens in a bag and throwing them in the lake.
Yeah.
You know, like that is so
Either way, it's bad.
Either
that
way,
that
it's bad.
happened.
But just talking about
Well, it's like
forget
animal
about
versus
this.
animal,
It
but-
would, I'm just talking about like really. I wanted to make this about how mushrooms have made me more empathetic, but not towards people, but
Just
more
towards animals and babies.
animals and babies, because babies they have no
They're innocent. and,
They're innocent.
Helpless. And shit.
yeah, pretty much like they didn't ask to be any
Yeah.
part of this whole thing. We can get in a whole talk about how you shouldn't be bringing babies into the fucking world this fucked up just because you love somebody, etc.
Yeah.
So
I'm not even gonna say what I think. I wanna say.
idiocracy
Say it.
intro. and
No, I think he's got it. That's why I don't need
Yeah.
to say it.
the whole thing. Like, what are we at now? 7.5 billion people.
It's over 8.
Just watch
I think it's 9 or something.
Yeah, it's
intro to
over 8.
Idiocracy. And
Yeah, I know. I just watched that
see
the
how
other night,
we're
actually.
see how we're going.
How are we going?
Need those electrolytes. Oh, you're gonna break the bowl, dog.
So fucked.
Yo, don't break that bowl, dog.
It won't break.
Yo, I got that. I used to have that bowl.
She's solid.
Now my ex has it.
This is not Whitney Houston. What's the other Whitney?
I don't know.
It's a bitch that just OD'd a couple years
I'm
ago.
ignorant. Whitney Brown.
Amy Winehouse.
That's not Whitney, but you got it.
I know because
You
I know
got
it's
it.
a way and a wit.
Amy Winehouse is not a Whitney.
No, I know, but it was a wha. So I knew he was thinking a woo.
Fucking Amy Winehouse.
I've never.
What a
Talented.
hard bitch.
Talented.
Last time you were on, we did the chainsaw video.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh God.
How did
This is not the chainsaw video.
No, it's not.
First time off again rafting, which weren't a good idea because I nearly tore my sockets off. Like that.
So we'll get like a medium swing, yeah?
Oh, we're
And
gonna.
see if we can keep him going round. No, see if we can do one first, then stop him.
Why is it so long?
1, 2,
Yeah, I don't know why this is so long.
3.
It's just not moving. From
I can't click it. Like I can't.
Oh, cool. That's hilarious. That's scary though.
Joe's face right now.
He's gonna die.
They're gonna get hurt. Or one of them are gonna lose their fingers.
Slow down.
Oh my god.
He fell off.
And the hammock is fun.
Hang on, let me kill this because I don't know why it's so long.
Why is it so long?
I don't think it's long. I think the cursor did it.
When he was over last time we did the podcast, I showed him a video of a guy who had like roped a chainsaw. Sorry. Yeah. He had a chainsaw on a rope. He was trying to trim.
Oh
he
yeah,
was
no,
trying
I've
to trim
seen
his
that. Trim the
hedges.
hedges.
Did you
I don't
see
want
that?
to-
Okay,
I don't want
fantastic.
to-
I put that to Wipeout. Actually,
Okay.
I put that to the music from Wipeout. Exactly. That was pretty funny, I thought.
That's funny.
Um,
What other videos got first?
dude, I got so. You want to check out our smoking
Yeah,
guy?
let's watch this guy.
Round
yeah.
2 of smoking guy.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's check it out.
Let's
check
check
him
in.
out, Mike.
Let's check in, boys, and see how his friends are keeping up with his smoking stopping. Look
He's
out,
smoking
Joe.
smoking stopping.
This shit's coming for Joe Fam.
Oh god.
Did you watch this already?
Yeah, we watched
Yeah.
this one.
You saw this, yeah?
Hey.
Alright, round 2.
Uh,
Oh wait,
you just ruined your
I got
team.
you a coffee.
Oh.
I got you a coffee.
That's funny.
His friends do not good aim at any of this shit.
His fingers are all burnt to fuck.
Oh dude, what? Thanks.
It's just a hose, I mean. Hey, I got more weed. Fuck.
What you've got like?
Filthy habits.
Do you want one more?
Yeah, put one on. Put one on while you're going to get more weed. Oh, put it on video.
You!
We gotta hold it down.
Oh, you dirty. Fuck you.
I don't know where the fucking top of my Okay, what was that? For a 3? Alright, cool. We'll leave it at that for now.
So Australian guys are ruthless.
Didn't give a fuck and they love the party. Wow.
Okay, what's going on with my sound here? Sorry,
You
boys.
did it again.
You did do it again.
I think you banged something in the back. Oh, there we go. Is that good? Can you hear me though?
Hang on.
Can you hear me now? Oh,
No, I can't.
hear you now.
I can't hear you. Hello.
Uh-oh. What's going on?
To all the killers and the $100 bills.
Oh, I could hear you kind of then. I can't hear myself, but I could hear you then.
I can't hear you either.
Hang on.
What's
going on here?
Oh, I can hear you guys. I just can't hear myself.
Play with that one in the back that you're
I
fucking
don't
around
know.
with before.
Oh, I think I can hear myself now.
Yeah, but it's like staticky, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's staticky.
My mouse is broken.
What if I talk really quiet?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's really
It
broken.
retracted and broke.
Can you guys hear me if I talk really quietly?
I can hear you. Hold on.
Hang on.
Talking to it?
Talk really quietly.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
Talk.
Hang on. There's something crazy going on here. There. Can you hear? Oh, that's
Oh, there
so
we
good.
go.
Fuck.
That's a
Crystal
lot better.
clear.
I need to get a new piece, man.
damn.
It's been about a year.
Yeah,
I
you
need
just
to
gotta
upgrade.
plug it every time like that.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah, it's not
This-
plugged in.
this-
That's not
she's
plugged into your
plugged in.
computer.
So-
That needs to be plugged in from my understanding
Hold on. We've
of
just
mouses.
we've had dead video for the last 60 seconds, 200
That's
seconds.
okay.
What does that mean?
Edit it out.
There's been nothing showing up, and I'm just gonna have to throw a fucking.
We are having technical problems.
This is what happens when I don't pay people to do this, I guess. Boom. We should be good to go now.
Oh, that sounds even better.
Yeah, good.
When I plugged the mouse in, it sounded better. Let's just ride the video train here
Fuck
for a
right
second.
off.
Man, no, I'm serious. It actually sounded better.
Okay.
But my mouse is really fucked.
Well,
Oh, there. I think it just fixed itself.
Fix me. You gotta break it to
Hang on,
fix
hang
it to
on,
break
hang
it,
on.
break it to fix
That's
it.
what
No,
you
it's
want.
broken again.
Yeah.
There. We can quit. Okay, we're back in business. That was fucking weird timing. And we're gonna move on to we saw the blind. Okay, yeah, fuck. Okay, Newfoundland just got hit by their huge storm. Okay,
Crazy snowstorm.
we got like what 20, 30
We got
centimeters
fuck
or some
all.
shit
Come
here.
on,
Yeah,
dude.
fuck all.
We got, like,
Okay, so I've got a video here that shows a time lapse. Oh my god, my fucking mouse. It shows a time lapse and then some chick dealing with the aftermath of the 90 centimeter plus blizzard here, and it's gonna be here. So this is a time lapse. See Buddy's car,
Oh my
and we'll just
God.
drink.
Okay, I'll drink that.
Obviously, it's sped up, but this is like over, I don't know,
Well,
20,
looks like
24
2
hours or
looks
some
like a
shit.
day.
Uh-oh, no video, Craig. You fucked up. So bitch left her window open.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Good
And
luck.
there you go. The whole passenger window, like, completely open. She was talking about how she didn't have any snow. I don't know why there's no audio here, but whatever. It really doesn't look that bad, if you ask me.
No.
No, and
For a whole,
it's still
like-
frozen. She could like brush most of that shit out.
Yeah.
Still sucks though.
Still sucks, but, like, I was there, it's 2020, 2019, 2018, the New Year's 2018 with Colton. And we had a state of, I don't know if it was a state of emergency, but they closed the city and everything down because we got a big blizzard. Couldn't get any weed, couldn't go to the restaurants or anything. They had a state of emergency for like 9 days.
That's crazy.
Yeah, really wild. If you worked at like restaurant anywhere local where that they shut down, then I guess employers paid them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Paid their employees. I'm really fucking cold right now, boys, or I'm just shaking for God knows whatever reason.
It is chilly down here.
Yeah.
I'm good now that I have a sweater
Um, Last year I don't think they got hit with anything, and then this year they got hit with this huge storm. Apparently scientists and stuff are saying that like it shouldn't be anything crazy that you should worry about, but it's
Greta Thunberg.
you know it's
what do you
part of the
think about her?
Newfoundland culture, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Getting big storms.
Getting the big sherms down the
It's
bay,
always
bye.
been a thing, right?
Getting the big sherms down the bay, bye.
You said your family's from Cape
Nova
Breton?
Scotia, Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. Yep. So
I
they
did
usually
the-
call them the Newfies.
What's it called?
The Newfies that didn't make the
The
boat.
big loop that they
the
they
Cabot
have.
Trail.
Cabot Trail. I've done that.
Yeah,
I
I've
did
done it
that
too.
before. I
The
got
big loop.
That big loop, and I knew right what he was talking about.
And there's one in
Cabin
Newfoundland
Trail,
too called the Irish Trail or something, and it's just south of St. John's.
I've only been to Port aux Basques and Islamore.
Port aux Basques, yep.
Well,
Take
that's
the
where-
ferry
that's where
there
the ferry
and
gets,
then drive 12 hours east.
And then you get to St. John's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 12 hours winter. That's what I'm planning.
Everyone's friendly in Newfoundland, eh?
That's what I'm here, man. That's what I'm hoping. Hoping to make some new friends and set down some roots and go from there.
Oh yeah.
Don't you know?
It might not be the place that I settle finally.
You never know, though, man.
But like right now with the weed game the way it is, I want to stick in Canada. But maybe in a few years.
What is it? What do you call it? Nova Scotia. They have like one of the highest consumptions of.
Halifax is apparently the largest city in the country for cannabis consumption.
Love the dope.
They like the dope, boy.
But like the company that I'm supposed to be working for, they want to make their own like brand just for the island,
Newfoundland.
and then sell it off to the rest of the country for like Christmas and Thanksgiving, and that's it.
That's interesting.
I'm cool for I'm down for that shit, but at the same time, it's just another stepping stone to God knows what. Like, do I really want to live in the snow forever? I don't know, but I'm already doing that here, basically. I mean, not right now, but it'd just be kind of cool.
What you do? You live in the snow for a month, and then you go on the ships, and you come back and you ride your skidoo.
Ride your skidoo around in the snow.
I'm just thinking, like,
hey, buddy, we're thinking about going riding skidoos. Want to come with us?
there was videos of
Fuck
guys,
yes, boy. I
of
want to come
guys
down
like,
ride them
yes,
skidoos
boy.
with you.
there was. Oh, look at that! That's fucking beautiful. There were videos of guys like taking the nurses and stuff during the state of emergency to work on a ski-doo.
Man, even when you're up past Barrie,
I love
everybody
Barrie.
has skidoos.
Love
man.
Barrie. Love
Everybody
Barrie.
does.
I
It's the
lived
only way
there
you can get around up there.
for like 2
The only
months.
way you can get around in the snow
Fuck,
is
it's
a nice
the truth
big
in there, bud.
Canadian skidoo.
And you can
Made by
thick Canadian
Bombardieri.
accent, too. Fuck, don't you know? And fuck off.
Yeah,
you
I was
don't know
gonna
any
do
better.
HVAC in Georgian.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was there for the summer. Not even the whole summer. Got in a car accident and decided to come home.
Yeah, I probably would too.
But there's a whole shitload of countries that are going to be working on their weed game in the next couple of years. So I mean, like,
I will hit this joint though for sure.
oh, will you now?
I wanna
Oh,
smoke
will
it, too.
you now?
May I?
There you go. Yeah, of course. Of course. I still have a shitload of videos to show you guys, but I figure we'll take our time.
Throw it on now. Or watch it while we're smoking this joint.
So where did you
Or not.
where
No, go ahead. No.
where did you catch your first what am I trying to say? Ship. Yeah.
In Tobermory, brother.
Tobermory.
Yep. I was on the Cheechamon, which is
Oh, yo! To Manitoulin?
Manitoulin
Oh.
Island Cheechamon.
Me and the boys did that in 2011, I think. We all drove up and we had like a serious like ghost story after. We got off the ferry and we were running out of gas. We were looking on Google Maps and there was supposed to be a gas station.
And there wasn't.
There was supposed to be a gas station at this spot. It was called like McVicker's, like, I don't know.
On the island, or were you?
No, we were mainland at this point. We were back in Tobermory.
Oh, okay.
20 minutes out. We drove down somebody's private lane
Yeah.
to their like estate. It was like, I guess, a house way back. We couldn't even see it. There was one light, a warehouse, and then off in the distance where we drove past to kind of like try and find this fucking gas station, there was a cemetery. It was McVicker's Cemetery. We were driving down a one-lane
in the dark
dirt road, in the forest. After last Cheechamon, so it must have been like 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I think. We would.
There
our
was.
last
Hold
trip
up.
Was
1, 2,
11:45.
3. Okay, hold up.
There was four trips that we would do.
So there was at least 4 of us. I think there was more. Oh no, 5. I think there was 5 of us. 2 cars. Going down this private property in the middle of the night. I don't think this is burning. Do you want to give her a go? My shitty rolling. And the boys will still talk about it as one of like the scariest times of our life.
So what happened?
Nothing really happened.
It was just creepy.
That's the whole thing. It was just really creepy. There was a cemetery on somebody's plot, and it was just like, yo, let's get the fuck out of here.
It sounds like
it was
nothing
like a
happened.
Hills Have Eyes sort of vibe. You know what I mean?
When I stayed in the bottom of the fucking Cheechmon, literally you have no. It's like a.
So you were working Chi-Chi-Mon.
Yeah. So you stay on the boat, but we would tie up every day. So like you could go into town like after you're done work and fucking go walk around and do whatever.
Yeah.
But in summertime, we did our last run at like 11:45, so everything in the town was closed, so it sucked. So
That's burning.
I started working a little bit before the fall season. So I only worked a couple nights where I had to work till 11:45, and then after that in the fall, you only had to work till 6. So it was sick. Get up work. They had a nice brewery there. Go in. They had a bar called the Crow's Nest, which was pretty sick, and like just like local pub, cool. You walk in, you just have a couple beers, meet people. They had the Legion night on Saturday night.
Oh yeah, the old Legion night.
But the Legion isn't like the Legion down here. Like it's not all the old men. It's all like Key to Bala. It's it's like all young people that work in the area.
That makes sense.
Legion night. The first night I went there, they had this. Everyone's dressed up in costumes. I'm like, what the fuck? It's middle of summer. I'm like, what the shit? Or like at the end of the summer, I'm like, what the fuck's going on? They're like, oh, it's Summerween. I'm like, what? So my first night
Halloween.
at the Legion, yeah, but Summerween, right? So my first night at the Legion, there's just mad girls walking around. It's like summertime, so they're not cold like they are in October trying to hide shit.
True.
Summerween is turning into a great idea.
I think they should bring that down here.
Christmas ween.
Anything. Show me your
Or
ween. Check out this ween. Show me what's in between. All those.
You got mad skills there, Preston.
I'm on the mic, aren't I? No, I'm kidding.
Wow. I did that to one of my coworkers.
What, you just dropped the joint?
No, they asked me for a cigarette, and I just took it out of my pack and I threw it on the floor.
Bum ass you for like 75 cents. You grab 3/4. No.
Okay. With that, we might as well play
Or Kobe them.
Australian video. I'm sorry, who's Kobe?
Nobody. Kobe beef.
Sure.
Yeah, it's like this really fine, high marbled.
That makes sense.
Good man.
Yeah. Why is it not playing? Why is it not playing, guys?
Click on the video.
I did.
I didn't mean that. I meant the one on the bottom.
What in the
Yeah,
fuck?
we watched that one.
There's no video on this. Okay. Cool. Fuck this then. Far. What is going on? Can you guys hear
We
this?
haven't watched this.
Can you guys hear
This
this?
one I haven't watched.
I can't. No, I can't hear anything.
Oh, well, fuck. You should
Fuck.
know that there's not water in there, but I guess.
Alright, well
there's
then
no water
fuck
in there.
these guys then. Here, you want this?
Why?
You
I
want
won't
this?
play?
I don't have audio.
I'm good. I'm
Audio's
toasted.
fine. I'm fucked, dude.
This makes me really mad, guys. Really, really mad.
Why don't you have any audio?
I wish I knew.
Let's play with
Hang
that
on,
audio.
hang on. I might be fucking with things. No, I'm totally fucking with things. Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy right here.
Who, you?
Yeah,
Why?
because that's the reason.
Oh,
that
did
we-
you have the volume turned down?
You're playing with it when you're trying to figure out that static shit.
I have a new technology that I'm trying
New
to learn.
technology. Elon Musk.
That's
It's got
loud.
flammable
I thought that
liquid
was-
here.
Joe,
Oh, no.
like beatboxing.
So he was expecting that the cigarette would light the flammable liquid, but no dice.
That's not how it works.
No, it's not, because fucking Aussies. Look at his
That would
hair.
have been funny though.
Yeah, that would have been fucking amazing. And he just kicked the soccer ball out.
He's still smoking.
Oh, this is the
Shouldn't you be quitting smoking, Michael?
dude.
Just
It
stolen
didn't
one
break.
Okay, so now I'm going to put all of these cockroaches in there to make sure that when he rolls one again, he's going to get a nice little surprise.
What are you doing today? You working?
Damn. Now I know that I need to fucking control this when my videos are on.
You doing it today?
He's rolling his own darts.
Oh my fucking god! What the hell?
Aussies.
Dude!
Yeah.
Yeah, that was rough, right?
Yeah.
I've never seen like cockroaches in those numbers.
They're probably just like regular Australian cockroaches that just go away though.
Oh yeah, that makes it just fine. They're just regular Australian cockroaches.
And
Hey, mate,
they're known to like carry
I'm just in your bag of backy.
disease and shit, right?
It's a fucking bug walking around in your tobacco. Yeah.
So bugs carry disease, right?
I guess they can.
I can't confirm or deny that.
See, that's the thing. Like,
I just think it's freaking gross, man.
do bugs carry diseases?
Well, if they're crawling around in like
Probably.
poop and
They're not rats. I'm asking honestly.
I honestly don't know.
I don't think so, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm not gonna rule it out.
I
but
But they
feel-
might
I
get
know-
infected with shit.
well,
right?
I would lean
Mosquitoes absolutely do, but that's
Good
because they're
point.
mosquitoes.
Okay, that's it.
And you know what?
That's
so,
it. So we
do
know-
ticks too. So that,
Okay.
that answers our question.
So we know that
Those are-
bugs can infect
Those
humans.
are all bloodsuckers though.
Mm.
Still
I
a
guess
bug
some
giving you a disease,
some
though.
flies bite you, but
Ticks
No.
bite you.
Yeah, that's fair. Ticks are bloodsuckers, but I mean like flies in general will carry shit from shit
yes.
to your
you don't,
shit.
You don't want shit in your shit.
Hmm.
That's what you don't want.
No.
I've never thought about that before, actually.
Well, there
Rats are one thing because rats are a huge issue with like New York and stuff and the plague.
Well, apparently
Possibility
this
of like
coronavirus
6 per.
is from
Well,
them eating bat
okay,
soup.
okay, let's get into this shit.
Oh, I thought we weren't then.
No, I'm down.
pathogens. That's what we're talking
Pathogens,
about.
contagions.
Is it just
Quarantines.
the coronavirus? Or is there going to be like other shit that we don't know about?
Well,
right?
like, think about if this is what we know about the coronavirus already. Like, it's got to be already at least, I'm gonna say, twice as bad as it is. I mean, it's China we're talking about.
No, it's not that bad.
Well, I was
Actually,
talking earlier that I read the thing about
what I
three flights three flights came into Pearson without any like security checks or anything. They just let all the people off from China.
That's crazy.
Mm.
Yeah, apparently they had a scare in St. Catharines. One
St. Catharines came back negative.
But-
BC's come back positive. Ottawa's come back positive.
So the thing about the coronavirus that I posted earlier today,
Right.
It was, I think, only 130 people have died from it so far, and that's just like that's not that many. But then the what do you call it? The swine flu killed 203,000 people in 2009, but that wasn't that huge of a deal compared to what the.
So you don't
coronavirus is.
think
It's just new, and I think the media's just blowing the fuck up out of it and making.
I'm not against that, but you don't think like our medical like clearances and shit have like improved at all in 11 years?
They also said that I was reading something today, and it was about that Canadians should be more concerned compared to the coronavirus of just the common influenza virus. It's already killed more people.
Influenza.
Just regular influenza.
Shit,
Yeah,
we've been
It's
dealing
been around with forever.
This
before us.
This has been a very bad flu year. This has been
Yeah.
a very bad flu year.
Flu year.
But I'm saying, what
Season.
most people are
Season, I
saying,
guess I should
the
say.
coronavirus isn't that too much of a worry.
It's up there with like the worst of flus, kind of.
Should we worry about corona or Iranians more?
You know what? This is I have mixed feelings on the war in Iran.
I tried to just stare at the camera as long as I could. Honestly, I'm not worried about everyday Iranians. I don't feel like any major population wants to fuck up any other major population for the most part. I think it's mostly like these weird religious sects that just want to fuck up like everybody because we're not doing things to their likings, and it's just a matter of like you can't forget about these people, but do you really worry about these people every day for the rest of your lives? Like I don't know. Like I said, I'm moving to a very small populated island in the Atlantic Ocean, so I'm just gonna stop there.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, there's no bomb threats.
I'm not really worried about Iranians on Canadian soil.
I don't know what I'm talking about, by the way.
I don't know, man.
Cool.
I think what most people are worried about is like them attacking like U.S. embassies and shit in Iraq, which is in their neck of the woods, right? So I'm not really worried about
Canada.
If anything is going to go down, it's gonna happen in Iraq. Iraq.
I hope you're right.
It's just one big giant power vacuum right now.
Yeah, no. Since
And the U.S. has a giant.
somebody
Stake
got
in
their
the
head
back.
popped off, right?
Yeah, since
Okay, cool.
Since
Cool,
George
we don't-
W. took down, it's just been a fucky, shitty, poorly organized power vacuum, and now we're finally seeing the repercussions of that.
Yep.
This is not qualified in this podcast. I'm probably gonna cut it out.
That's fine.
I might
let's
not.
let's do
Yeah.
it.
Cut it out.
Next video. I could just not.
Didn't you bring it up?
Probably.
I think we all contributed though.
Yeah.
Did that. Did
We all
that.
built the base for it.
Oh, okay. Here's a nice fucking
And
feel
the
good.
Kobe thing.
Here's a feel good. We've been going for a while, much longer than I expected to go for. I just can't find my mouse right now.
That's
Okay,
what all the girls
here's a
say.
good one. Feel good. No video, no audio. Oh, because this. No, it's still down. Okay, just enjoy it for what it is, I guess.
Nothing in the
what's
truck.
In the truck?
There's nothing in the truck.
Fuck me,
Now
man.
there's something in the truck. Oh shit.
Oh no!
They left him
It,
right there.
the video was titled Speed Bump.
Oh.
So they went over a speed bump with a fucking pile of paint. I don't know what happened because I'm sure I caught this audio before.
I feel like he doesn't have it figured out.
That's super weird, man. Yeah, no, I don't. You're right.
What are you doing, John?
He's fucking just glazed like a donut.
Donut I don't want to fucking touch. Like that angry donut that fell on the floor.
Okay.
at Tim Hortons.
Full disclosure, I got a new fucking piece of equipment that I'm still
Awesome.
learning to use.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. Fucking brand new equipment, still learning to use. I guess I shouldn't touch it.
No, you can touch it.
What'd you say?
Just be gentle.
I said you can touch it.
I
I
can't
feel like
hear
my mic's not on.
I
That's
don't think
what I
it's on. Are you on? No, I only got 2 headphones on.
Watch it be like Joe didn't work at all this whole fucking podcast.
No.
No,
You
I was
definitely heard
working
him.
for some of the time.
I can't hear him now.
No, I can't hear me now either.
It's when you picked it up, I think.
I know. Fucked it up.
Yeah. Check.
Oh, I see it.
Try the white cords.
Hang on. Maybe
Try the red cord.
maybe it's this.
Your mic not being plugged. Oh yeah, definitely. I remember that being plugged in.
Oh, what's up, motherfucker?
One,
Yeah,
two, one,
maybe
two, one,
maybe
two, one,
it's
two.
maybe it's just because I hate my fucking self.
I don't think that's the reason, but I think it's because the cord was unplugged.
It's more a physical thing. that happened.
Why can't it just be both, guys? Come on, let's get through this. Well, let's go on a tangent here. The best movie that I saw. What was the best movie that you saw last year?
Of 2019?
Mm.
Oh, I don't know, man. I didn't watch a lot of movies, dude, because like I was working a lot.
Okay.
But I don't know. I guess one.
What, you didn't watch a lot of movies when you were on your off time on the boat? What'd you do?
No,
Did you
because I
just-
didn't have really internet. Like I couldn't stream. I could go check Facebook and shit like that. Until later, I found.
She was slow.
Well, no, actually later, like I was trying to do it all with my PlayStation internet and stuff. And then,
So you have a
Then event-
PlayStation, eh?
yeah.
Okay.
I like PlayStation.
Good to know.
And then eventually later.
PS4?
Yep.
Okay, good to know.
No, PS3, like a loser.
Damn. Some cold ass fucking cracker shit right there,
You see some people at
man.
Niagara Market, they're like, yo, PS3 for like $150. You're like, oh my god, bro.
Who
Half
are you,
that.
bro?
Half
It's
that.
like 1 o'clock in the morning and he's from Welland.
All a PS3 is now is a Netflix server.
Well, that's what I usually do. Like, that's what I was doing. Like, I was just watching Netflix and I watch everything on there.
Fuck, I gotta
Disney Plus and shit.
Get
But,
another beer.
did it go out again?
No,
Oh, okay.
we're all good. We're whispering. We're whispering.
Yeah, we're just talking quietly now.
Quiet right now.
Because the mics work and we can do that.
Shh, don't jinx it. Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it.
But yeah, so, what else talking
You were talking. I don't know what.
about? Movies that we've seen.
Oh
And
yeah,
you
good
saying you hadn't
movies
seen
this
much
past year.
because you don't have Netflix and.
No, but I did watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That was good.
Right,
It's good.
right. I was saying earlier that I went in preloaded Charlie Manson flick, did not turn into a Charlie Manson flick, and I was disappointed
It's
for
a
lack
Hollywood flick. It's
for lack
called
of
Once Upon a
you're
Time in
right.
Hollywood.
You're right. For lack of a better term, because I didn't want to see what happened happen, I was disappointed.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term,
Yeah.
because I didn't see what happened
You got deep in
I was disappointed. I need to watch it again, but I haven't made it yet.
I didn't watch the whole. Like
I
I
don't
watched
even-
bits and like
You haven't seen the end?
I forget the end, man.
The end is the whole thing. The
The
end is the
whole thing, man.
Have you seen it?
No.
The end is like the whole reason that I didn't understand the
Yeah,
movie
I
at the
forget
end.
it. Like I was like in and out of it. The whole
Okay.
time.
More because Joe hasn't seen it, and I respect him as a person.
We're not gonna.
We're not gonna fucking ruin it.
I
don't know.
appreciate that to both of you because I
Brad
do.
Pitt and
I
Leo
do
do a-
plan on seeing the
Brad
movie.
Pitt and Leo do a fucking great job.
Yeah.
They're solid buddies. Brad Pitt showing up Bruce Lee. Do you see that scene?
Yep.
Okay, well that was pretty funny. But I mean,
Is it really Bruce Lee?
No.
as a Tarantino flick, I was surprised.
But it is really Bruce Lee. Though.
But then looking back at it,
And he comes.
I wasn't as surprised.
It's him, but it's not him because he's dead.
No, it's not him. But the whole part of that little thing was
Damn.
supposed to be relatively true.
Yeah, pretty much. Like it's basically like Hollywood stories that have happened, but with the Quentin Tarantino
It's a twist.
fiction
Oh, he made it fiction.
area. Yeah, well, it's not all real because it never happened.
Nope.
but He took a spin on it.
Sure didn't.
That's what it means.
Sure didn't.
Yeah.
Sure fucking didn't.
It's good, though. It's good,
Not
but
all
it's-
real
it's
because it
super
didn't happen.
I've always said for the last while that I wanted to see Tarantino do a football.
He's not going to do that.
But you gotta understand, he was gonna do Star Trek.
Yeah, does that sound like football?
Does fucking Pulp Fiction sound like football? Like, come on, man.
No.
Pulp
Why-
Fiction's Pulp Fiction.
Why you gotta hurt me like that?
I
Greg, wanna see
I love
him-
you, but he's never going to do a sports movie.
I
He's
want
gonna
to
do a-
see not even football. I want to see him do a sports movie where he obsesses over the like.
do a sequel
Okay,
to Ruby.
okay. Think of Full Metal Jacket. You've seen Full Metal Jacket, Joseph.
Yes.
Think of the
Stanley Kubrick. Next.
think of the drill sergeant in Full Metal Jacket, done by Quentin Tarantino, but a football coach.
Yeah, I can see it.
I could see.
Be
that.
pretty fucking
Quentin
sweet, right?
Tarantino's not the best actor though. He's not.
No, I'm not saying Quentin Tarantino acts it.
Oh.
No.
Quentin Tarantino.
Does-
movie?
It's all about him, who he casts.
Does
everything
he,
else.
Does
He
cast,
writes the
Does he cast himself as a character in the
He
movie?
does that sometimes.
like a Django,
Yeah.
maybe a Django perspective where he's in the crowd, like a big fan of one maybe he was a pedophile in the crowd of a certain fan. It's a high school football team, and just to make it weird, I'm just trying to take it weird because it's Tarantino, right? Maybe he's like the diehard fan of this fucking one high school athlete from junior high to graduating year, right? And he has all his pictures up in his fucking little shrine. I'm trying to think as far Tarantino as
I
possible.
think you should
dude.
say fuck this little homage to Tarantino, and you should just get writing, bud. Just make this your
Yeah, that's
own.
cool.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm down.
sounds like you got a story
Nice
ready
great
to
time.
go.
I'm just trying to think, like, the most fucked up thing I could think of for Tarantino to go out with. He said he was only to do like 8 movies or something.
Oh yeah, and then he said he was gonna retire, and now he's like, I'll never retire.
Yeah, no, I never thought that for a fucking second. He bailed out of the Star Trek movie. Right? He's not doing that anymore. So he's gonna do a sports movie, Joe.
We'll see. We'll have to see. You know what? Maybe you're right.
Watch. I'm just trying to think of the most like unrealistic thing for him to do after. I mean, he did the CSI episode. Do you remember that?
No.
I do. I have seen the CSI episode.
That was dope. It was like somebody buried alive for 2 episodes, 3 episodes.
I think it was at least a part 2 or.
It was at least 2 episodes, and it was all about like tracking down Quentin Tarantino's killer. It was really neat.
What?
Check it out. Anyways,
good.
let's move on to our next video here. Before I get too obsessed with Tarantino.
What do we got there?
I'm wondering if I think I might have not been recording this whole thing, but the audio is good. I showed you.
We'll put that over the blank pictures that we have.
Did I show you the? Okay, fuck, I meant to show you this like an hour ago when we were talking about. Fuck it, I'll just show you the goddamn video. Drunk power.
Oh my god.
Andy.
That's good.
Keep going, keep going.
Yo, he's past.
That's what I thought the
That's
first
like
time I saw this,
what's happening in
man.
his head.
Oh.
I'm not joking, dude.
Good fucking, good
I
rap.
thought he was joking, like kidding around.
Yeah, he got.
You humped his head.
Well, it was in a, what was it? Computer chair. Like one of the rolly
I think that was in our
yeah,
our
that's what
place,
I'm saying.
man.
It
I
happened
think
right
that
in
was in
front
our
of the
place. Yeah.
I did it.
I did it.
I did it.
I know that I did it.
Did it. Me and Colton did a podcast up north in Killarney, and we were hiking up Killarney fucking mountain all day basically, and it got to a point where it's like it's gonna get fucking dark soon. We have to make it all the way back. So
Oh man, it's
I
scary
kind
in
of
the
called
dark,
it.
too.
Well, I'm not playing that game. You know what I
Me
mean?
and my
Like,
brother actually were just over in Louth Conservation Area, just walking his dog, and we went like this is like 4 days ago, and it's pretty close to the city. Like it's like just past like if you drive up Pelham Road and you keep going a little bit in Lincoln,
Yeah.
it's out there, and like so we're walking his dog, and then we're coming in just like at the crack of dawn or dusk,
mm-hmm.
and all we hear is like a bunch of these coyotes, right? And then like my brother's like howls back at them, and then they got louder and closer.
Oh.
And then I started doing it because it was like half drunk, right?
Might as well fuck with them, right?
We took like a big nice hike down.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're coming up, and I'm howling at them, and then it's louder, and there's like 12 of them. You can hear them. That's like a bunch of them. It was pretty like just hearing them holler back at you was very crazy. Like
Very crazy.
The whole thing about coyotes.
Nature shit going on.
Well, if you like, what
and
is
like
it?
we were planning on staying down there and having a fire. I was like, and with his little, he only had a little
Fire
puppy.
might have kept them away.
Oh, definitely, but
Once
we had
the
a little
fire
puppy
goes
too,
out,
though,
right?
so,
Yeah.
Like
I don't know.
just couple-month-old. German
Respect.
Shepherd.
Coyotes.
But yeah, no, it was nuts.
Is it coyotes or wolves? Where like if you kill a couple of them, they do the roll call. If the roll call doesn't call in
That's
properly,
probably wolves.
the females know to like repopulate more males or some fucking weird fucking Joe Rogan shit.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sounds like wolves though. Coyotes are little bitches.
Just
They're
dirty.
little bitches,
Yeah.
but in packs they're brave, and that's what the eerie thing was. That's what it was. It was eerie when we heard that because we're like howling at them, and then it's like, holy shit, they're getting closer, and there sounds like more of them. And like when they're in a pack, that's when they're gonna attack.
Of course.
Not that
Strength
I would
in
be afraid,
numbers.
Like I fucking bring my 22
I don't know,
down
I-
there. I'd be like, bring it on! I dare one of you little motherfuckers close to me.
Hang their head on the
Click,
wall,
click.
right? Talking about repopulating numbers, let's get into this before we wrap this shit up.
Okay.
I had a video saved earlier.
What does that mean?
Oh, we'll see right now, right? Do you guys know who Wendy Williams is?
Nope.
I do not know.
That's good.
So before we were married, he promised me we would have 2 kids, and now he doesn't want any more. My friends think I should trick him and stop taking my birth control.
Oh, your friends are douchebags.
What do you think, Wendy?
I'm embarrassed to say this because I don't like spousal lying. However, men have never been in control of our bodies. We're the ones in control. I'm not going to suggest that you do that, but look into my eyes and tell me what I'm saying. Okay?
Oh my God.
He promised.
Now hang on. Just wait.
Wait, can I just take a quick poll? Clap if you think that she should trick him.
Watch homie in the pink here.
Oh, come on.
My people, trick him.
That's so funny. I'm just trying to smash this chick.
There were actually a couple of chicks in the background too that were like, There was one guy in the crowd who was clapping, and
What
it
the
was,
fuck?
yeah, it was a whole pile
No,
of shit.
don't do that. That's bad. That's not nice.
Like, you gotta
Don't
think
do
about,
that to guys.
Think about the kid, man.
Yeah.
Don't do that to the
exactly.
fucking kid.
Good luck, you idiot.
Mama didn't want you, or Dada didn't want
First
you.
of all, what do you do for a living, and do you have that much time off?
Do I have anything left for you guys? We did the cheese. That's really all I wanted to do was the cheese video.
The cheese.
Speed bump. The cheese video was like where they were throwing cheese
Oh,
out the
yeah,
window.
yeah.
That was a good one.
I
enjoyed
I've
that.
had that
LOL
so
one.
long. We can close it out for one more Aussie clip if you guys want.
Sure.
Anything else we want to talk about? Pressing on the fucking 7 Seas. Joe opening up
Just
the
on
new...
the 5 Great Lakes, actually. And the
Well, we'll
St.
call it
Lawrence River.
Seven
Are
Canadian
there 5
seas.
Great Lakes? Am I that bad at school?
Is there 5? Yeah, there's Michigan, Huron, Lake Erie, Lake Ontario, Lake Superior. Yeah, fuck you guys.
Okay,
I know what I'm talking about. I like Salem.
Listen,
No,
listen to
You're
me.
making me question myself. I'm like, wait a minute.
Listen to me. The last time Joe was on, he thought Texas was over by California.
No, he didn't.
I'm afraid he did.
I did.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
no.
documented.
I did.
I love you.
Not very good at
Hey,
geography.
I
That's-
love you.
That's just one thing.
Yo, that's actually not true. I'm actually very good at geography, just not when I'm wrong.
All right, we're gonna call this now. It's Supper for Dinner 32. Thank you so much, my friends.